this kind of stuff, I don't even know how to put into words because it is so hilarious if you know what you're looking at. Okay, whoever drew this knew exactly what they were doing. It's not by chance. There's a bunch of people that know this stuff. I don't think it's as hidden as people like to think that it is. It's just hidden to you because you've just seen it now. But it's been around forever. Okay? So these guys just do this. It's a goof. I guess, whatever. For them it's fun, whatever. But it's also fun when you see it and then you can look at it and without trying to sound too egotistical, knowing that the idiot next to you is buying it because he wants to read it instead of looking at it and going, I already knew that. You know what I mean? So here's the Sphinx, right? Notice that it's the 9th life. And it's just like that ever-ready battery. Remember the guy from CERN, the dude that traveled through time, and he said everybody was going to get Kit Kats. Well, here's the cat, right? There it is there. Here's the broad with the red hair. This stuff is amazingly funny when you finally understand what you're looking at. It is really a hoot. Like I said, it's the same thing. These two pictures are the same thing. It always goes back to the same thing. Always. This is the same picture. You know, it's the same picture as this. All these things are the same. There's nothing new under the sun. The black sun. Because it's where it's all emanating from. It's the point where everything is emanating from. We're like living in a dead thing. I don't know how to explain it to you, but there it is. That's why in this picture you see the 9 and the cat. And then in this picture you see the 9 life. And then you look in this picture and you see the 9 lives. Do you understand? It's the same thing. And that's why they're fun to look at. And that's why it's funny to look at. Because even here, the length of it is 4.5. That's 9. So you got the 9 lives. And you got the 9th life. Here you have the Sphinx. Right? Here you have the Sphinx. Here's the cube. Look, I can't remember who it was. There's some famous pope. I can't remember which one it was. I don't even want to use the word famous. Or it was a bishop or a cardinal, one of them fucks. And he wrote it. If you just go research it for yourself. And it's not to be opened until a certain date. But basically what it says is that your life is a job. Your life is a job. It's because you're help feeding this thing. See this thing here? You're helping feed this thing because everything on this planet is based off of one thing. Power. When I say power, people automatically think government, communism, that type of stuff. No, it's based on power as an energy. Okay, it's all based off of that. And so that's why you'll see this same picture over and over again. You know, when they talk about money, they use the word currency. You know, when they talk about, oh gosh, I'm just at a loss for words because there's so many of these things you can use. I get a block. You know, it was electrifying. You know, that type of stuff. You know, this broad here is representing the same thing that this is. That's representing this. It's the same thing. There's no difference. You're part of a battery system. That's your job. And you have been given emotions and consciousness to exist in this thing because we were all supposed to be part of it when it was in a working order. That's, you know, you gave to it, it gave to you, but whatever, but it's broke. And so the ding-dongs that broke it, they know they broke it. Are they, you know, I don't know enough about it. I know I've been helped out by a few people. Because it's really the story before the biblical story. But it's really, all of it's based on, you know, you're a battery. You know, I mean, think about it. What a more perfect source of energy than to have a battery that maintains itself through its own thoughts. And no, that doesn't downplay Christianity or Muslim or anything else. But it's really the way everything is set up here. If you look, everything reproduces. And reproduction means energy. Everything is turned into energy. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. You just go back to where you come from. It's just because it's part of the cycle. See, it's, you know, I hate to say it, but we can talk in circles if you want. Which brings me to another point. I was laughing about this today, you know, because I'm such an old fucker. I'm not the oldest fucker on the planet, but I'm up there, 51. You know, the Beatles. You know, come on, man. Ringo Starr. What planet do you think that is? I mean, it's just silly little things like that just have gone right over humanity's head. And guys like this guy standing here, smirking and laughing. Because they know 98% of the shit they fed you is bullshit. For real. You're a mushroom. You're kept in the dark and you're fed shit. You are a mushroom. We all are. Because they won't tell us the other side of it. We have the Bible, and that's the best you're going to get. And I think we should be thankful we've got that. But once again, all you got to do is make the comparison. The ninth life. Here's the Sphinx. Here's the cat. Here's the broad with the red hair. And there it is. It's all there. 9 lives. Nine lives. The 9th life. That's what I mean. At some point, it does become comical. Because, you know, they're not going to change it. The guy that wrote it, he knew what he wrote. He knew what he was drawing. And so, you know, they're not going to change it just because you figured it out. Or you're on to them. Because this shit goes so much far deeper than this. But it's a good start. It's a good start. You see, this is what I don't get. This really is the truth movement. What we're doing here, those of us that are looking at this stuff, this really is the truth movement. But yet, you don't hear a peep about it. And these guys, with the exception of Maxwell, who's talked about it a little bit, they will dance, I hate to say it, they will dance circles around the word Saturn. They don't bring it up. They steer clear of that word. Because once you start using the word Saturn, and you start using that word liberally, and showing where work weaves its way into religion, it comes right back to them chosen ones that are sitting over there in that piece of dirt. And they don't want that crap getting out. And that's a biblical truth. Go read Amos 5:26. That's what started the whole thing for me. They were worshiping Chayun. That's Assyrian for Saturn. Now, Saturn is connected to CERN. The pyramids once worked. That's what the Christmas trees represent. I'm not going to go back into all of that stuff, but that's what it is. It's just hidden science. Yeah, sure, there's a spirituality to it. Of course there is. Because that's how science works. The problem is with a lot of scientists, they leave the spirituality part out of it. It's really alchemy when it comes down to it. It's what it is. Science and sorcery is alchemy. You're working the 3rd dimension, you're working the 4th dimension. And that's what CERN is doing. So, interesting stuff, Maynard.